Today is my solar return. To only speak about this past year would mean leaving out so much important things that happened throughout my 20s and what I learned. You guys know on this channel we're very much about the inner child, doing inner child healing work, healing in general, being an Aries, being childlike and playful. My 20s I spent, I would say, uncovering and rediscovering the inner poet within myself, the inner artist within myself. When you're 20 something and you're transitioning from a child into adulthood, which I believe personally you're still a child. Looking back, I'll always think how young I was. I know I will. I always do photos of myself like, wow, I was just so young. I thought I would have so much more figured out by 25. Now I'm gonna get emotional. So my maiden years, maiden, mother, crone, if you guys know the triple goddess, my maiden years have been very messy. I spent a lot of time trying to be polite. That really forced me to put my artistry on the back burner. Uncovering that part of myself was quite a trip. I journaled a lot through my 20s. That's when I really started taking journaling seriously. Doing that discovery work, you have to be unapologetic. Express yourself. Doing that without shame is very important. How you rediscover yourself or create yourself, not seeing it as good, bad, or ugly. We tend to mislabel ourselves. We so badly want to make sense of who we are and this life and get on our feet, reclaim our independence. Losing our innocence essentially through our 20s just to rediscover that childlike creative mind with a new relationship to the witnessing, the experiencing, remembering that we can't control everything. I think your 20s will always remind you that you are not in control. Now that I'm on my way out of my 20s, I have to accept that my inner child will live on forever and ever more, but I'm wisening up and becoming more mature. But still a maiden at heart, still messy and beautiful and wonderful and imperfect. In the messiness, we discover our truth. We start to not only cultivate the truth, but share and express it fearlessly. Don't let your truth go overlooked. I want to say share it regardless, even if you look back and you think, how young and how dumb and how messy. It's totally okay. A true artist understands that deep honesty and reflection is what makes every day sacred. Get in the habit of embodying what that means to you, and that will make your 20s a lot easier, especially if you accept yourself and your truth. Now that I'm living a much slower paced lifestyle, tapping back in with energies and auras like children do, reclaiming the ability to feel deeply, and now I understand that I believe we're all clairvoyant. I believe we're all very spiritual beings. That spirituality is a very deep wisdom that is, I'm channeling as I'm going, but I'm hearing reward for being on earth. It's a reward. It's something to be very proud of. And I'm getting emotional again as I say that. Despite time and its innate desire to shadow our glow, all that we experience within time, we remain innocent and sensual. I think that's what our 20s can prove to us, is that the inner child can survive despite time. The world will try to shame you out of this innocence, out of this purity, out of the messiness. We persevere on. We own this duality of pure and arousing without shame. This is what makes 20-something so addictive and fun and alluring. We have to own our circumstances as we move on into the next phase. I look up to a lot of people that always say that like they're 40 or 50 and they never have it figured out. And I think that your 20s are for owning that. It's not about having it figured out. Sometimes it's about creating something that's honest, harnessing our highest vitality by taking care of ourselves and catering to our needs. I've realized that God has asked me particularly that I be very stupid and enchanting in order to be an example. Between the worlds of youth and adulthood, we have no choice but to remain curious and write poetry, turn our story, turn our truth into art. So that's what I've been trying to do. Me and my sister did a little photo shoot for my birthday, inspired by Madame Yvonne, I think that's how you say her name, her goddess series. That was really fun. And I've been reading art for the ladylike. It's inspired me a lot, reminding me as a woman the hardships especially artists have gone through just to create, having to choose domestic life or work, which usually is art for women because we are so sensitive. We have that depth. Everything that we do, whether it's, cooking, cleaning, creating, working, as art. It was hard to read at first because I didn't want to admit to myself that I too have had struggles of having to choose between family or my creative process, and how the world sees it as selfish if you choose yourself, especially as a woman, and especially as a woman of color. In our failures and shortcomings, childlike charms, we make the messy into magic. Protecting this part of ourselves will remind us to be the student when necessary, perfectly imperfect and always rising. I'm very grateful for everyone that I've met through my 20s and the experience that has helped me become who I am today. I know that I'm stronger than I give myself credit for. I will continue to seek out and surround myself with people and experiences that make me feel good, make my soul feel good. In your 20s, when you're unhinged, dare I say, it's okay to celebrate every day like it's your birthday. There's a ladybug outside my window and I have a ladybug on my necklace. So cute. I will carry these lessons with me forever. I want to be best friends with my inner child forever, be this alluring forever, this mystery forever, allow myself to also move forward, cultivate new versions of myself. That's been the fun part, crying, because life is very beautiful. Especially around spring, I'm always presented with the paradox of clinging on to the moments while my soul just desperately wants to move forward, So allow yourself to move forward by accepting yourself in every moment, in every phase. It's okay to experience painful things, then let it go. It's okay to fall. It's okay to be messy. Experience is how we make better of tough situations, even if others cannot approve of your actions. Deep down, we want to be loved, and no one can love you more than you love yourself. I think that was a huge, beautiful lesson that I acquired throughout my 20s up until this point. As a woman in a society where you feel if you don't choose yourself, you can be handing over your free will, receiving or feeling courageous enough to have something more can feel difficult, but I promise settling is much more difficult. Remaining in your purity, remaining in your innocence is going to make it so much easier to forgive yourself when you're unraveling all of these obligations to society, to family. As a 20-something-year-old, able-bodied person, returning home to lost versions of yourself and integrating those while allowing yourself to also move forward. If you let yourself down, there's always time to recover. If you believe that you deserve to recover, constant creation and destruction. So seek out that inner poet when things are tough. Laugh at yourself and create something beautiful. Courage isn't always easy when things are uncertain, but you'll find some very enlightening lessons in uncertainty. You may find yourself in uncertainty. Being generous with your art is a good thing. Trust that everyone understands. Let people misunderstand you sometimes. It's worth it. Live like you want to live. Put on a show. Dress how you want to dress. Be who you want to be. Lead by example. Know that seasons change. Seasons do change. People change. Life is always changing. Know that receiving is a gift. There's power in receiving. There's power in being receptive, being compassionate, creative, being the maiden and the poet, redefining yourself, rediscovering, or uncovering yourself, or creating yourself. It can be a painful process. It's very deep and painful. But once you get to the other side, you remember everything you've built yourself up to be, you always were. You will doubt yourself. You will fall short sometimes. You will choose fear at times and put yourself in that pressure cooker. And when those moments come, remind yourself to pour in more love, more self-love. No one is trying to stop you from becoming this better version of yourself or evolving besides you. With heartbreak, accept that you are an alchemist. Accept that you can transform any situation. Hold on tight to your vision, even if it's a messy process. Surrendering the dependence on anyone else's validation will help you find your own light in this life. And if you're wondering right now, can I really keep evolving? Can I really keep changing? Can I really keep moving forward? As someone who feels like they've lived many lifetimes this life already, yes. Yes, you can. Absolutely. There's no ceiling. If the vision is yours, it's just up for you to create it. And start with what you have. Start now.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See no one else, I know what you do. That's why I mind. Spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world, don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give all day long.
Meeting myself again and again and again. For that, I'm very proud. To another year of blessings and beauty, light, adventure, more qualities, good sister time, travel, and creating, and evolving, and I don't know, everything. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. I hope this video was entertaining. Hope you learned something. Hope you felt something. Happy to have you here, part of our true friends and family. There will be more content on the way, so stay tuned, guys. Love you guys. Bye.